Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with me.
We testing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No BS, OBS, camera zoomed in, and the chat is lit. Stay tuned in, like Zach Morris got attention like the cool kids. I do's this, homie, I thought you knew this. If you didn't, now you do, I had to prove it. Thanks for watching. What's everybody's favorite topic? Leave a comment in the chat and please stop it. If you hating, there's no debating, promise. I'm going up like Hakeem. I can't wait to block you. Sorry, nah dog, cause this a party. Get your popcorn ready, we about to get it started. I'm super grateful, thank you all for being with me. How we looking, am I good?
Sitting pretty.
I'm elated that you would take time to kick it with me. And I ain't famous, so I'm grateful for the subs you giving. Shout out to Shadow, I know my guy is always listening, and I appreciate the bits. Fire emoji pimpin', let's get it. I'ma give you what you came to see. Just hit that follow button for me and we can proceed. An OG, Child's High, class of 03. Shout out to H5P and everybody that's in the stream. I appreciate you being here. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming on back. At least there's a couple of you. Shout out one time. Thank you so much for being with me. This might be the most amount of chat participants we've had in the beginning of a stream. So I'm gonna say,
Thank you.
you're far too kind. How is everybody doing? Sorry to keep you hanging. I know that it's been a week since we were all last together, and that's a considerable period of time. But I hope to make it worthwhile for you. I'm so glad to see some of the names in the chat currently because of all the people that could possibly participate in today's quiz. I think you all stand the greatest chance of winning a prize. Now listen, I'm very hopeful that it's gonna go better than the last time we tried this. And I wish that I have had a tutorial or two with one or two of you, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do today that I think will be of help is I'm gonna paste the direct link in the chat. So you don't even have to go to the game room when we get there. You'll just be able to click the link, I hope, and then you'll be able to participate that way. And then hopefully that'll make it that much easier. Shadow, I see that you're lurking. I hope that you come on back for the quiz, bro, because there's a prize in store, huh? Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna be playing for a prize. And I'll give you, OMG, another quiz. Yeah, that's part of the fun, I thought, because it serves, first of all, several purposes. My objective, in addition to entertaining you with my fabulous voice reads, is I want to provide you with insights and information, things that I think are cool or relevant or worth discussing, noteworthy, perhaps. I want to candidly self-promote my artistry, music, and whatever else I'm into. I want to tell you about any new movies that I've seen. I'm a film head of sorts, and I certainly love that. So I want to make recommendations based on my own personal opinions. By the way, did anybody watch Tetris? Let's see if I can give you a little. Anybody watch Tetris? No? If you haven't, I do recommend that film. It was a good one. And one of my guys at work, shout out to Joanne. I don't know if you're here in the chat, bro, but if you make it or ever see this, he agreed that it was a good film. So Eric, shout out to you, sir. You haven't seen it yet. I hope that you get the opportunity because it's worth it. One time. Bang. So, in addition to those things, I thought that the quizzes, not only would it be entertaining, but watch this, it would allow us to recap the readings from perhaps the stream before or previous. Because listen, a lot happens in our lives in a week, and I'm sure so many, just as I have, you're probably not rewatching the VODs as religiously as I am. So what that means is I'm a bit more caught up than you, I think, but the goal is to remember and recall. So I do that with the quizzes, and I'm very proud of not only the questions that I've come up with for you. They're not super hard, so it's not meant to be an impossible. It's not the SATs, but the goal is to get you thinking a little bit. Maybe you forgot someone's name or what I don't want to say too much because then it'll kind of give you an advance hint. But the point is, the quizzes serve many purposes. And now, not for nothing, I want to acknowledge you all and reward you for being with me. And so I thought to myself, well, how could I do that? And certainly prizes would be worth playing for, I hope. And my initial concept was, well, I'll give you all an Amazon gift card, right? That's a decent prize. One time for that. And I still might do that. But it wasn't really enough. And it didn't meet my own personal expectations. And by that, what I mean is that a gift card is cool. Although some of you, because you're in Norway, you might not be able to use an Amazon gift card. And so now I'm thinking to myself, well, what prize can I give that works for our US audience, our European audience, etc.? Not that there's many of us collectively, but hey, I'm grateful for every single one of you. One time for that. All right, so what could I give away? If not an Amazon gift, well, Prime makes sense because Prime is Amazon and Prime and Twitch go together, and that's all still Amazon. So I thought maybe I could gift you a Twitch gift card, and then with that you can buy subscriptions or do something within Twitch. But I thought you all probably don't even want that. It's enough that you're here with me, and so I don't want to force you to, I wanted to give you a prize that you can use. Shadow says he could use a trip to Norway. I tell you what, you win 6 contests in a row, and we'll make that happen, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope we can make that happen though, bro. For real. And then I thought, I don't want this to be too easy either. Winning one, and I've renamed our chase quiz, by the way, and we'll get to that in a second, but winning one isn't enough. For everyone that knows me, my favorite number in the world, the number that I think represents me well is that of number 3. So if and when you win 3 quizzes, then you'll earn a prize. And I'll even let the audience choose. We can talk about what main prize you'll receive. But then I thought, well, how do we recall and remember who won what contest or whatnot? And so people in Norway can buy me a gift. Yeah, they can. Shout out to that. So how can we remember and recall? Well, this then presented me with another opportunity to introduce something else that I'm at least interested in. I won't say passionate about, though I once was, and those that know me can attest to this. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you what you will be playing for today and likely going forward. Now, brace yourselves. I know some of you are going to be like, man, that ain't no prize. But I assure you, it is. Remember, the goal is to earn multiple prizes so as to then be eligible for a larger prize. Kind of like those carnival games, right? You go to the carnival, maybe you're throwing darts at balloons, maybe you're shooting impossible basketballs into hoops. Shout out to A&T because he's doing some amazing things, and I know he'd attest to that if he was here. But anyway, there's a lot of carnival games. You throw the ring toss, etc., etc. Chuchawanskake. We'll make that happen. But the concept of the carnival game or the fair game is that it's easy at first. They want your money. They want to keep you coming back, right? So you throw the dart, you hit the balloon. That was the first step. That's easy. And you double up, 2 out of 3. And what happens is every time you upgrade your prize to get a larger prize. And in the end, if you're good, you walk away with the giant teddy bear, and that's the goal here. So our giant teddy bear can be anything that we want it to be, and we'll come up with that as a team and figure that out. One of the things that I thought would be very cool, just as kind of a sentiment, might be your own copy of the book. That would be cool. Personally, whenever I finish a book, I think of it as like a trophy. And I know most of you aren't hoarders like I am, but I don't know, something about having the book and putting it on the shelf and knowing that you finished it, it's like a trophy. It's like an accomplishment. So I was thinking maybe I could send you all a copy of the book. I can always default back to the gift card if you like that. Maybe we fly somebody out to Norway. You got to win 3 though. Okay. Forget the large teddy bear today. Let's focus on what you are playing for. Taking a step back, part of what I want for you all is to just become up on some things that I think are cool. And I know so many of you are already familiar and have your own personal feelings about things, or, you know, you read your own articles. That's cool. But I'm just going to shoot you straight the way I want to. One of the things that I think still has the ability to shape our world and reality and will likely become a more everyday kind of used thing, if you will. It's not the most articulate way of saying that. And no, Chucha, last week's win doesn't count because unfortunately for him, he was really playing by himself. And I think that's what she said.
That's what she said.
So no, Shadow's win doesn't count. And remember, we didn't have a way of really keeping score for that. It's a late laugh track, but you get it. So now I'm going to tie in the things that I was saying a moment ago, which is to say, I believe, I'm just going to cut right to the chase. NFTs still have the ability to have practical application. And if anybody's already pushing back, it's okay. We're gonna get there. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on preaching about NFTs or encouraging you how to sign up for a wallet and do all those things. Before we go forward, let me just show you what you're going to be playing for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had a drum roll, but I'll do this. I'd like to introduce you to 8-Bit Geralt. 8-Bit Pxl Geralt. So that is an NFT that I made yesterday, and I am super geeked. I think he's cute. He's adorable. That's right. NFTs and a game. It's all my favorite things. This is my show. It's my music. It's my intro. It's my games. My quiz. So what is this? Well, surface level, what it is just art. It's pixel art, and it's cool. I think it's also commemorative. This is our Geralt. This is the first of the first of RMB's Twitch NFT collection. And one of you lucky participants today are gonna have the chance to go home with 8-Bit Pxl Geralt. All right, so where am I going with this? Well, one of the benefits of NFTs is that everything is verified on the blockchain. So when you are a holder of an NFT, we can prove that because it is held in your wallet, your crypto wallet. Now, if anybody is on stream, you don't have a crypto wallet, we're not going to be able to play the game. That's all right. You'll have an option. How about that? If you win today and you don't want to do the NFT thing, we'll figure out another prize for you and I'll make that happen. But I know so many of you have a crypto wallet, and I can send you this NFT, and I'll remind you how we do that. That's not your responsibility, it's mine. So this is what you're playing for. Now watch this. If you win today's contest, you'll get 8-Pxl Geralt. Pretty cool. And then when we do the next contest, we'll likely have another NFT that you'll be playing for. And if you win 3, now watch, you have to have these tokens in your wallet to qualify for the giant teddy bear. So you see, it kind of all ties in and relates, and I had a lot of fun creating this little 8-Bit Pxl Geralt, and I hope you think he's cute, and I hope that excites you. And let's be honest, you were gonna play the quiz whether there was a prize or not, and now I've got to I gotta keep reeling you in. You know what I mean? It's one thing to participate in today's contest, but I need you coming back for more. So this is my way of hopefully incentivizing you to do that. And 8-Pxl Geralt is live on the blockchain. He has been tokenized. He can be found on OpenSea, and I will share that link with you now in case anybody wants to see him on the blockchain. And again, I recognize that so many of you watching and or listening are like, what's he talking about? NFT? I don't even know what that is. What's a blockchain? OpenSea? What is this? Pirates of the Caribbean? This isn't the episode for that. But if you're interested, and if that's something that you want me to discuss in a later episode, let me know, and I'll be happy to cover those things for you. Otherwise, I do encourage you to explore these things. Now look, I know you know this. The wave, the bubble popped, okay? NFTs arguably dead to so many. I concede. This isn't about value. It's not about, okay, you're going to spend 0.001 Ethereum today, and in 7 weeks, it's going to be worth X. That's not the objective. The objective is to continue to keep things top of mind. I still very much believe in the technology. You know, once upon a time, the internet was introduced and there was a large adoption at first, and then it died. And people thought, oh, that was a fad. It's over. And then what happened? Well, the resurgence of the internet, new and improved. And now, of course, the internet is what it is. We're on it. I believe very confidently that the same thing will happen with NFTs. I think there are a practical application. I think that one day when you go to a concert event, when you go to a film festival, when you go to the movies, your airplane ticket, everything just about that relates to admission or, validity and verification, there will be tokens of sort. And you're seeing this already. So many of us make use of digital boarding passes when we board our plane. It's a QR code. It's much the same. So let's not overcomplicate it. But what's cool, in addition to that QR code, is that these graphics, these tokens, these art pieces are collectibles. And that's cool. For a lot of people, that means something. I collected baseball cards and basketball cards and Marvel Universe cards as a kid, and I wish I still had some of those. I don't know if they'd be worth anything, and Pokemon's certainly a big thing. So look, we're creating our own collection of Twitch NFTs, Geralt's the First, to commemorate our read of The Witcher, and I think that's also something we'll probably do. Hopefully we'll have more book readings, and if we ever change genres or series, the NFTs might reflect that. I don't know. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. This thing could die tonight and everybody hates it. So, but I hope you think Geralt's cute. I had fun making him. I was actually super excited. It felt like Christmas morning this morning. I was like, I can't wait to introduce Pxl Geralt. I hope they love him. And if you hate him, it's all good. But one time. So, hopefully a few of y'all are still with me. You might have faded out after you heard it. You were like, NFTs, this guy, I'm gone. But if you're still here, I'm excited to see who's going to take home Pxl Geralt. Shadow, I'm now reading the chat. Shadow says unsubscribe. Yeah, sorry, dude. Listen, you were our first contest winner, and that deserves recognition and applause. As I said, last week you were playing for my eternal admiration, eternal gratitude, eternal friendship. You've got that, man. So you're the big winner, if you want to know the truth. So congrats to you, sir. But this week, there's a real prize. So if everyone is here, and when I say everyone, I mean maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of y'all, at the most maybe 5 of y'all. But if there are a few of you who are eager to participate and get to playing, there you go. Eric, shout out. So listen, I will gladly help you and put you on to how that works. I'll make a formal endorsement for anybody watching. I do highly recommend MetaMask. That's my preferred wallet. There are others. You can do your own research, but I really like MetaMask. Opening a wallet is free to do. The prize is going to be free. You don't have to make any investments. It's not like that. So that's what I would encourage you to do. If you don't have a wallet, check out MetaMask. There's a little fox icon. There might be a little fox in the chat too. I don't know. One time for her. Bang. All right. So without further ado, I may have shared with you, I rebranded this thing. So plug for H5P. I told you all what H5P is, who I am as it relates, and it's deeply a privilege to work for and with such a wonderful team. And H5P has created an amazing solution. That's a game. It's a live engagement tool, and we affectionately refer to it as the chase because participants, typically students, but anyone, can chase one another in answering questions timely and correctly. And that's what you'll be doing when you participate. So previously, our version of this game mode was titled The Chase of Rivia. But then it hit me. I missed an opportunity. So it's called The Chase. Now we're just moving past that. From here on out, you are going to be playing. And I'm going to reset it so I can bring it up for you. Internet's a little laggy, but that's all right. We're live streaming. Come on, sweetheart. While this is loading up, I'll tell you. Ready? I know the suspense is killing you. Here we go. Gotta get a new computer. I don't know if the computer would help. All right, here it comes. That's what she said. It's full screen now. It's loading up. I wanted to bring it up so you could see the title as I mentioned it, but since I cannot, the game, ladies and gentlemen, is affectionately called, wait for it, Geralt of Trivia. Huh? Come on, it's too easy. Geralt of Trivia? Too easy. And now, of course, it wants to play nice. So without further ado, let's pull up the game screen. Testing the game?
We
Get
testing
it?
the game. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. There it is. One time for that. Bang, rang. Geralt of Trivia. Come on, it's too good. 5 minutes, I think, is much too long a duration of time. These questions are not all that difficult, and there aren't so many of them. I think maybe 3 minutes might be challenging for a couple of us. So let's meet in the middle. Let's see if I can make this 4 minutes. Okay? You've got 4 minutes. Now, just like last time, you can go to go.h5p.com and enter that game code. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make life super easy. Go.h5p.com. Okay? That's the first link that comes through. Now, that's the game room lobby. If that's too much, let me paste the direct link. And it's going to look terrible, but here we go. So I'm copying that. Go back to the full screen mode. Here comes the direct link. There you go. Hopefully that works for you. So the first link is the game room lobby, and you can enter the game code, which I'll read aloud for everybody listening. 412335 And now you can just copy and paste that game code. Yes, sir. I've done that. 412-3359. So now you've got go.h5p.com. Pretty cool game room lobby. You've got your game code to enter the lobby. And you've got a direct link that should be a cheat code. Get you right there one time for that. All right. Now, just a bit of further instruction. Once you get to the game room lobby and enter your code or click the direct link, the screen should look like mine to a degree, except that you can choose an avatar for yourself. You can be a person, a creature, a car, an alien, an animal. So whatever floats your boat. And you enter a nickname. It can be anything you want. We'll have to verify who the winner is if I can't readily identify you. So I encourage you to choose your subdomain or your name just as you would be in Twitch so that I can readily identify you that way. But you can be anything you want in Geralt of Trivia. So we've got 3 players. Congratulations. Now, I think I saw 4 names in the chat. Now, you're not obligated to play. I will remind you, you're playing for 8-bit Pxl Geralt, an NFT and exclusive 101 RMB's Twitch Collection live on OpenSea.io. And as another reminder, if you collect 3 of these exclusive NFTs only available through our Twitch episodes, you're going to win a bigger prize. And that is yet to be determined, though I'm still leaning towards the book because I think that would be cool. And if you really want to, I can mail you this book. You can have the one that we've been reading with the exclusive RMB sticker. You probably don't care. So I'm really just killing time to see if anybody else wants to participate. And if not, that's totally cool. I think there are 3 of you. Now listen, as the game sits idle, you might lose connection. So if that happens, don't panic. Just refresh your browser and you should be all good. Okay? So that's it. There's 3 of you. That's really more. That's the same amount as we had last time. Though hopefully we'll have more activity than last time. I'm gonna be honest. If at the end of this thing only one of you participates, you're not going to win the prize. The eligibility is that there has to be some competition. Sorry. I really want the wah, wah, wah. I'm working on that. Okay. That's enough chit chat. I know you all are super excited, just as I am. So I'm going to give everybody just another half minute or so. You all who have already created your avatars, have already selected your nicknames, you might want to refresh. And to get us in the spirit, let's hear that beautiful chase music. I hope you're hearing that. It's a vibe, you know what I mean? Shout out to H5P one time. Hey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring you round 2 of Geralt of Trivia, formerly the Chase of Rivia, but rebranded to better reflect our creativity and what we're all about. Fun, whimsy. I'll remind you, though I don't have to, today, ladies and gentlemen, you are playing for an exclusive one-of-one NFT, 8-bit Pxl Geralt, created by yours truly. You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Without further ado, your game begins now. Best of luck, contestants. We've got 3 live players in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, Shadow 1311, and my mother, Chucha Bar. Shouts out to y'all. Oh, Shadow takes an early lead as he gets the first question correct. I'm gonna toggle and show you, and this is for everybody's benefit at home too. Watch, you can watch number of questions versus the score. So we'll keep it on number of questions. And if I can't really scroll up and down, you have to trust me that Chucha's name and icon is down here, though she hasn't answered any yet, but I'm hopeful that she will. Chucha, you have to choose the correct choice and then probably check each of those responses to register your selections, and that'll keep you moving. And if at the end of this thing, oh, she's playing, ladies and gentlemen, well done. I'm very proud of you, Mom. I was gonna say, didn't even have a one-on-one tutorial, folks. She just gets it. You know what I mean? It's intuitive. She's good at this. One time. Hey. All right, Eric. He's pulling out in front, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the scoreboard looks like. Oh, even Stevens at 1. Maybe the questions weren't as easy as you thought. It was meant to keep you guessing, huh? And remember, it was all about who was here, huh? Who participated. These aren't just made-up questions. These questions pertain to our very last reading. It's meant to reward you all for being with me, and I certainly appreciate that. So hand clap for y'all, hand clap, and thank you.
Thank you. Far too kind.
All right, now listen, you've got 2 minutes left on the clock, so take your time, enjoy it, okay? We're here together, we're having fun. It's the chase, it's Geralt of Trivia. Everybody's, Chucha, spearheading the front. Let's check the scoreboard, shall we? Oh, might want to give a little bit more thought to answering some of those questions. Eric, you're falling behind. There he is, Boomtown. Everybody's tied up at 2. 1 time for that, 2 times for that. Bang, bang. Eric, almost done with his quiz. He'll be our first finisher. Oh, Chucha, maybe you'll change that. There's no prize for finishing first. Unless, of course, there's a tie, and then there is a benefit to finishing beforehand. Oh! Shadow's really taking his time. He wants to make sure. I'm confident he's excited for 8-bit Pxl Geralt, huh? Aren't we all? Let's go. Maybe he really wants that trip to Europe. He knows. I get 3 of those. Eric is our first finisher. Congratulations to him. Well done, sir. Chucha's right behind him with 5 questions answered. And Shadow, you've got 51 seconds and counting. You might want to pick it up. As far as our correct answers go, based on what I'm seeing on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, not so hot. You're not even batting par. Batting par. I like that. Does Shadow have his own book? No, ma'am, he doesn't. Not as far as I know. Yeah, you can all buy a book. In fact, I approached a bookstore for a sponsorship. I was trying to get you all discounts on buying books, and that effort continues. You know me. You know me. right, this game is gonna end in about 13 seconds. Shadow 13, you might want to submit. We're gonna see who our winner is. 5, 4, 3, 2. Who's gonna get it? Eric! Well done! Shout out to him. Congratulations, my friend. You are now the proud, or soon to be, owner and holder of the first RMB Twitch Collection NFT exclusive 8-bit Pxl Geralt. Let's stop the music and just vibe for a second. Well done. I hope that those questions were fun. I guess they were a little more tricky than we thought, but that's okay. The idea is that you gotta study. You gotta know these things. Let's see how we did. Let's make this a teaching moment. All right. So the first question was fairly easy. And again, I'm sorry for those of you that can't see. There's the right answer. So the question was, what is the name of the wizard introduced in our last reading? And I try to give you some variations here. Many of them were pretty obvious that they were the wrong answer. But all of you got the right one, so congratulations to you. Last question is a character wrong. Check the report. All right, I'll do that. We'll get to that. Now, I'll answer that later. And Chucha, thank you for the feedback. And you did amazing. One time for you, darling. I'm very proud of you, for real. Because we didn't have a tutorial, and you did it all on your own. So I'm very proud of you. All right, what was our next question? Which of the following characteristics does not apply to the description given to the newly introduced wizard character? Well, if you recall, he was described as being kind of a stereotypical wizard. So he was tall, he was thin, and he does have a staff with a crystal or gem on top. What he wasn't was well built. So maybe it was how you read the question. It was what does not apply. So one of you understood the assignment, and the other two, maybe you just guessed. I don't know. It's all good. The next question was the wizard with whom Geralt has been speaking. And notice how I didn't include the name in the question. Otherwise, you might have been able to go back and make that change. Huh? Thought about that. The wizard with whom Geralt has been speaking does fear that his life is in danger. Now, we only got 2 answers submitted. Maybe Shadow was working and he couldn't get it done. I don't know. Sorry if you missed it. But those that did, well done. He does. He fears that his life is in danger. And maybe we'll find a bit more out why in the next couple of questions and in today's reading. That is why you're here after all. Okay. The next one. Ooh. As prophesized by the mage Etibald, an eclipse which foretold the end of human civilization at the hands of 60 girls born during this, turning them into cruel creatures, possessed by demons and being cursed, bringing the return of the goddess Lilith, and the end of the world was known as the Black what? The answer was sun. Somebody put night. Good try. That deserves something. The Black Knight was a decent guess, but the answer was sun, the black sun. I thought many of you might have chosen moon. And this is an opportunity for me. So capitalization within these quizzes can sometimes make a difference, but I disabled that because I didn't want anybody to get hung up. If you'd have typed sun with a lowercase s, you'd have still got it right. And so maybe, Eric, to your point regarding the last question, spelling, I put in about 4 or 5 different variables of spelling, but we'll get to that. Let's see what happens. Before we do, and this one I hoped you would find funny. This is the name of the murderer mentioned by the wizard with a penchant for impaling her victim. So you know she's a female. And so I just gave you a whole bunch of S names here. Nobody got the correct answer. It was SRHIKE. Now, I put that name in the title in the previous VOD, I believe. So that could have given it away. So there's a tip going forward. And Shoryuken, no, that's Ryu from Street Fighter, and Shania, no, that's Shania Twain, and that don't impress me much. And if you're playing the game, hopefully when you answer questions incorrectly and when you submit, you get to see some funny little one-liners. Cher was, do you believe in love, and Chevy is a misspelling for the car company. So you might have seen something pertaining to that. And certainly Shoryuken. I thought that was cute. And then I believe the last question was this. Nobody got it. And you can't really see it on the screen, but it was, what is the name of the insectoid monster creature that Geralt has brought into town on the back of a donkey and presented to the wizard? The answer is Kikimora. Now, maybe it was a spelling. Let's see. Okay, Kikimura. Maybe I could have done a couple of more variables. Well, the good news, and you could be right. You could be right. In the game, perhaps it's spelled differently. Now, I did verify this both in the book and online through the Witcher wiki forum, if you will. I don't fault you for that. In my mind, you got that one right. Congratulations. And the good news is, it doesn't matter. You were our rightful winner, unless, of course, but you verified. That's your submission. So congratulations to Eric. You're going to receive 8-bit Pxl Geralt as soon as we get your wallet set up, and I'll be glad to help you with that at the office, my guy. Or anytime. You can call me, FaceTime me. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed that. It was fun. Thank you for your participation. Well done. And congratulations one more time. I'm going to switch scenes on you, and hopefully it's going to work. Oh, yeah. We're back. Let's get a little mood lighting in here. I'm going to snap, and then it's going to change. Oh, it actually started before you saw it. That's fine. I tried. Shout out to the chat. Everybody's happy for you, E. I am as well. One more again. I'll even cue this up. On behalf of E, he says...
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah! All right, now, arguably my favorite part of our streams, the recap. Now, we've done that a little bit with the quiz, and again, well done. Some of you could have studied a little harder, or maybe paid more attention last time. So let's deep breaths, let's get into this thing. Not a lot to recap, frankly. The last read, I think the chapter was rather long, but the gist of it was Geralt meets with a wizard. And as we just learned from the quiz, his name is Stregobor. And the wizard is described as being a very stereotypical wizard, not unlike the famous Gandalf the Grey. I don't know if that's a hand clap, but we'll give it to him. But what's most compelling from the story that Stregobor tells us is that, just as we talked about in the quiz, there was this event, this weird like eclipse happening. They called it the event of like the Black Sun. And apparently like 60 young girls went crazy and they started killing people, and they were turned into like these possessed demon-like creatures. And I don't know if they're monstrous, or I don't really know how they look, candidly. I think they look regular, but they're devilish. And then there's this resurrection of, or the bringing back of an ancient goddess perhaps named Lilith. And so we'll see what happens with that. But Stregobor is concerned for his life, and he wants Geralt to kill SRHIKE. SRHIKE is the name of the girl who was one of those 60 young ladies who was possessed by this eclipse thing. Now, Geralt, I don't think, believes in all of this. He's like, come on, man, there's other real... I brought you a Kikimora. What do you want? You're talking to me about some little girl that was born on a full moon and now's a demon? Get out of here. But I'm sure it's real deal. Now, watch this. This young lady apparently lived with some dwarves once upon a time, and they were robbing people, I think. And so they had like amassed the treasure kind of hoard, and eventually I think those dwarves kind of ended up killing themselves. I think rumor has it some of them maybe have had relations with SRHIKE, and maybe they fought because they were in love. I don't know. I wasn't there. But SRHIKE's on the rampage, and she's coming straight for the town that we're in. And I forget, I think it's Bravik or Blavik, maybe something like that. Starts with a B. Doesn't really matter. It's where Stregobor lives. Now, Stregobor has basically created for himself this illusionary environment within a tower, right? So he's high up in some tower somewhere, but his world is just spell casted. It's make believe. So when Geralt's there, he sees a pretty girl. He sees apples. You know, it's a whole thing. But it's just the Matrix. It's just a big spell cast by Stregobor. There it is. It's Blaviken. I knew you would know it. Congrats again. Boom. Thank you. So we're in a town called Blaviken. Now, if I recall, there was once mentioned of Geralt being like a murderer from Blaviken. I don't know if that was previous events or future events being foreshadowed. I'm not sure, but for everybody's benefit. So that's basically it. We were introduced to Stregobor the Wizard, SRHIKE the demon girl born of the full moon or black sun, I don't know, and certainly badass Geralt, who's still hanging around because I think he wants to get paid for the Kikimora corpse that he brought in, but I don't think that's going to happen. So that's it. That's basically what I recall. If anybody remembers anything else and wants to contribute, you're more than welcome. And as we have adopted new traditions, you know what it is. Sing it one time for us, our friend.
Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
Here we go. We are on chapter 3 of this episode, and I'll remind everybody of what the episode is called. The Voice of Reason 3. Love that. Chapter 3. The Voice of Reason 3. The Golden Court, the country town's elegant inn, was crowded and noisy. The guests, locals, and visitors were mostly engaged in activities typical for their nation or profession. Serious merchants argued with dwarves over the price of goods and credit interest. Less serious merchants pinched the backsides of girls carrying beer, cabbage, and beans. Local nitwits pretended to be well-informed. Harlots were trying to please those who had money while discouraging those who had none. Carters and fishermen drank as if there were no tomorrow. Some seamen were singing a song which celebrated the ocean waves, the courage of captains, and the graces of mermaids. The latter graphically and in considerable detail. "Exert your money, friend," Cattleman said to the innkeeper, leaning across the counter in order to be heard over the din. 6 men and a wench, all dressed in black leather studded with silver in Novigrad style. I saw them at the turnpike. Are they staying here or at the tuna fish?" The innkeeper wrinkled his bulging forehead and wiped a tankard on his striped apron. "Here, Adelman," he finally said. "They say they've come for the market, but they all carry swords, even the women. Dressed as you said, in black." "Well," the Adderman nodded. "Where are they now? I don't see them here." "In the lesser alcove. They paid in gold." "I'll go in alone," said Geralt. "There's no point in making this an official affair in front of them all, at least for the time being. I'll bring her here." "Maybe that's best, but be careful. I don't want any trouble." "I'll be careful." The seaman's song, judging by the growing intensity of obscene words, was reaching its grand finale. Geralt drew aside the curtain, stiff and sticky with dirt, which hid the entrance to the alcove. 6 men were seated at the table. SRHIKE was not with them. "What do you mean?" yelled the man who noticed him first. He was balding, and his face was disfigured by a scar which ran across his left eyebrow, the bridge of his nose, and his right cheek. "I want to see SRHIKE." two identical figures stood up. Identical, motionless faces, and fair, disheveled, shoulder-length hair. Identical, tight-fitting black outfits glistening with silver ornaments. And with the identical movements, the twins took identical swords from the bench. "Keep calm, Veer. Sit down, Namir," said the man with the scar, leaning his elbows on the table. "Who'd you say you want to see, brother? Who's SRHIKE?" "You know very well who I mean." "Who's this then?" asked a half-naked athlete, sweaty, girded crosswise with belts, and wearing spike pads on his forearms. "Do you know him, Norhorn?" "No," said the man with the scar. "It's some albino," giggled a slim, dark-haired man sitting next to Nohorn. Delicate features, enormous black eyes, and pointed ears betrayed him to be half-blood elvish. "Albino mutant, freak of nature, and this sort of thing is allowed to enter pubs among decent people?" "I've seen him somewhere before," said a stocky, weather-beaten man with a plate, measuring Geralt with an evil look in his narrowed eyes. "Doesn't matter where you've seen him, Tavik," said Nohorn. "Listen here. Sivril insulted you terribly a moment ago. Aren't you going to challenge him? It's such a boring evening." "No," said the Witcher calmly. "And me? If I pour this fish soup over your head, are you going to challenge me?" cackled the man sitting naked to the waist. "Keep calm, 15, said Nohorn. "He said no. That means no. For the time being." "Well, brother, say what you have to say and clear out. You've got one chance to clear out on your own. You don't take it, the attendants will carry you out." "I don't have anything to say to you. I want to see SRHIKE, Renfri." "Do you hear that, boys?" Nohorn looked around at his companions. "He wants to see Renfri. And may I know why?" "No." Nohorn raised his head and looked at the twins as they took a step forward, the silver clasps on their high boots jangling. "I know," the man with the plate said suddenly. "I know where I've seen him now." "What's that you're mumbling, Tavik?" "In front of the alderman's house. He brought some sort of dragon into trade, a cross between a spider and a crocodile. People were saying he's a witcher." "What's a witcher?" 15 asked. "Eh, Sivril?" "A hired magician," said the half-elf. "A conjurer for a fistful of silver. I told you, freak of nature. An insult to human and divine laws. They ought to be burned, the likes of him." "We don't like magicians," said Tavik, not taking his narrowed eyes off Geralt. "It seems to me, Sivril, that we're going to have to do a little more work in this hole than we thought. There's more than one of them here, and everyone knows that they stick together." "Birds of a feather," the half-breed smiled maliciously. "To think the likes of you will walk the earth. Who spawns you freaks?" "A bit more tolerance, if you please," said Geralt calmly. "As I see, your mother must have wandered off through the forest alone, often enough to give you good reason to wonder where you come from yourself." "Possibly," answered the half-elf, the smile not leaving his face. "But at least I knew my mother. You witchers can't say that much about yourselves." Geralt grew a little pale and tightened his lips. Nohorn, noticing it, laughed out loud. "Well, brother, you can't let an insult like that go by. That thing that you have on your back looks like a sword, so... Are you going outside with Sivril? The evening's so boring." The Witcher didn't react. "Shitty coward," snorted Tavik. "What did he say about Sivril's mother?" Nohorn continued, monotonously, resting his chin on his collapsed hands. Something extremely nasty as I understand it. That she was an easy lay or something. Hey, 15. Is it right to listen to some straggler insulting a companion's mother? A mother, you son of a bitch, is sacred. 15 got up willingly, undid his sword, and threw it on the table. He stuck his chest out, adjusted the padded spikes with silver studs on his shoulder, spat, and took a step forward. If you have any doubts, said Nohorn, then 15 is challenging you to a fight. I told you they'd carry you out of here. Make room. 15 moved closer and raised his fists. Geralt put his hand on the hilt of his sword. Careful, he said. One more step and you'll be looking for your hand on the floor. Nohorn and Tavik leapt up, grabbing their swords. The silent twins drew theirs with identical movements. 15 stepped back. Only Sivril didn't move. What's going on here, damn it? Can't I leave you alone for a minute? Geralt turned around very slowly and looked into the eyes of the color of the sea. Oh, it was a female. She was almost as tall as him. She wore her straw-colored hair unevenly cut just below the ears. She stood with one hand on the door, wearing a tight velvet jacket clasped with a decorative belt. Her skirt was uneven, asymmetrical, reaching down to her calf on the left side and on the right, revealing a strong thigh above a boot made of elk's leather. On her left side, she carried a sword. On her right, a dagger with a huge ruby in its pommel. How the gold, Miss Ross? One time. Thank you for being here. See you on the flip. Lost your voices? I don't know if that's a good. Let's try that again. Lost your voices? There you go. It's a bit stronger. He's a witcher, mumbled Nohorn. So what? He wanted to talk to you. So what? He's a sorcerer, 15 roared. We don't like sorcerers, snarled Tavik. Take it easy, boys, said the girl. He wants to talk to me. That's no crime. You carry on having a good time, and no trouble. Tomorrow's market day. Surely you don't want your pranks to disrupt the market. Such an important event in the life of this pleasant town. A quiet, nasty giggle reverberated in the silence, which fell. Sivril, still sprawled out carelessly on the bench, was laughing. Come on, Renfri, chuckled the half-blood. Important event. Shut up, Sivril. Immediately. Sivril stopped laughing immediately, and Geralt wasn't surprised. There was something very strange in Renfri's voice, something associated with the red reflection of fire on blades, the wailing of people being murdered, the whining of horses, and the smell of blood. Others must have had their similar associations. Even Tavik's weather-beaten face grew pale. Well, Whitehair, Renfri broke the silence. Let's go into the larger room. Let's join the alderman you came with. He wants to talk to me too, no doubt. At the sight of them, Calderman, who was waiting at the counter, broke off his quiet conversation with the innkeeper, straightened himself, and folded his arms across his chest. Listen, young lady, he said severely, not wasting time with banal niceties. I know from this Witcher of Rivia here what brings you to Blaviken. Apparently, you bear a grudge against our wizard. Maybe. What of it? Only that there are tribunals to deal with grudges like that. He who wants to revenge a grudge using steel, here in Arcia, is considered a common bandit. And also, that either of you get out of Blaviken early in the morning with your companions, or I'll throw you into prison. How did you say it, Geralt? Preveniently. Exactly. Understood, young lady? Renfri reached into the purse on her belt and pulled out a parchment which had been folded several times. Read this, Alderman, if you're literate, And don't call me young lady. Caldman took the parchment, spent a long time reading it, then, without a word, gave it to Geralt. To my regents, vassals, and freemen subjects, the Witcher read out loud. To all and sundry, I proclaim that Renfri, the Princess of Creighton, remains in our service and is well seen by us. Whosoever dares maltreat her will incur our wrath. Alduin, King. Maltreat is not spelt like that, but the seal appears authentic. Because it is authentic, said Renfri, snatching the parchment from him. It was affixed by Alduin, our merciful lord. That's why I don't advise you to mistreat me, irrespective of how you spell it. The consequences for you would be lamentable. You are not honorable either, Alderman. Going to put me in prison or call me young lady? I haven't infringed any laws for the time being. If you infringe even by an inch, Caldman looked as if he wanted to spit, I'll throw you in the dungeon together with this piece of paper. I swear it on all the gods, young lady. Come on, Geralt. With you, Witcher, Renfri touched Geralt's shoulder. I'd still like a word. Don't be late for supper, the alderman threw over his shoulder, or Lishbush will be furious. I won't. Geralt leant against the counter, fiddling with the wolf's head medallion hanging around his neck. He looked into the girl's blue-green eyes. I've heard about you, she said. You're Geralt, the white-haired witcher from Rivia. Is Stregobor your friend? No. That makes things easier. Not much. Don't expect me to look on peacefully. Renfri's eyes narrowed. Stregobor dies tomorrow, she said quietly, brushing the unevenly cut hair off her forehead. It would be the lesser evil if he dies alone. If he dies, yes. But in fact, before Stregobor dies, several other people will die too. I don't see any other possibility. Several, Witcher, is putting it mildly. You need more than words to frighten me, SRHIKE. Don't call me SRHIKE. I don't like it. The point is, I see other possibilities. It would be worth talking it over, but Lishbush is waiting. Is she pretty, this Libush? Is that all you had to say to me? No, but you should go. Libush is waiting. Hey. All right. So that was difficult for a few reasons. One of them being, I didn't realize there were so many damn characters. Why? Sorry for some of the voice mishaps. And I didn't know Renfri and SRHIKE were the same individual. I thought they were two separate individuals. Didn't know who was a female at first, and then it all became clear. So I guess Renfri is SRHIKE. SRHIKE is Renfri. Finkel and Einhorn. I hope everybody enjoyed that. And to round us out, we're going to toss a coin. Come on, sweetie.
Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
And there we go. That was today's reading. Yeah! Let's change up this little light thing we got going on. Come on, sweetie. You can do it. Stream Deck's like, I gave you a lot. There we go. That feels better. The next chapter has a bit of weight to it, so we'll wait on that. But I thought it was nice. I've enjoyed being with you all today. For so many of you, it's been morning. For some of you, midday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say it any better than Hove, so.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
I'm grateful. And not for nothing, you guys killed it in the quiz. For real, for real. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to Eric one more again. He is today's contest winner and will be the first holder of the RMB Twitch NFT collection. Here comes one more time. You get to see your prize. There he is. That's little 8-bit Pxl Geralt. And we'll make sure he finds his home safe and sound. Yeah. Cool. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope that you did too. Sorry again for some of the voices. I keep telling myself, read ahead, figure out who's who. And then I'm like, no, then it's less fun when I get there. Because it's like, it was surprising when Renfri tapped Geralt on the shoulder and he turned around and now he's staring in the blue eyes of this female. I didn't know that, now we're all learning at the same time. So yeah. As per usual, my routine is that after this, I'm going to render our VOD, upload it to YouTube so anybody can rewatch. And I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to gear up, take a little bit of pre-workout, take myself to the gym. For anybody watching that is not yet following him, I encourage you to please follow and subscribe to my guy, Shadow1311. Even though he hasn't been live on Twitch lately, I think he's waiting for a new game title. And I can't wait for you to come on back, baby. So looking forward to that. But please do hit that follow button, hit subscribe. Damn. All right. I hope you love the game. Now, I'm not going to promise a new Geralt of Trivia every time because that gets old. And I don't think there's enough substance in that last chapter to really do a whole new quiz. So let's hold off. All right. We've got enough to celebrate. I think Eric is our champ right now. He's holding the title. He's got the NFT. Let's see if we can get a few more viewers in here paying attention, maybe wanting to win a considerable prize. And we'll all figure out what that is. If anybody has ideas as to what you would like the grand prize to be, when you earn 3 NFTs, you'll get something special. Copy of the book, Amazon gift card, I don't know, something else. Trip to Norway. We'll see. I don't know. Doubtful. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to bid you all a farewell. As is now customary, thank you again to Shadow for your contribution. Tell them what this has been, Dwight.
This was a successful unveiling.
Shout out to that. This was a successful read and unveiling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for being with me. I can't say that enough because I'm deeply grateful. Thank you for your follows. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the love in the hallways and at lunch. It wouldn't be fun at all if you weren't here. So
Thank you. Far too kind.
So on that note, we're going to test the game and we're going to fade out. Thank you again. Maybe we'll do a night ride. Who knows? Stay tuned. See y'all later. Peace.